we have a voter registration weekend coming up on Saturday, and all the voter stations will be open, so you can go and check that you are registered correctly, or you could register for the first time if you are not registered yet. And the statistics tell us that young people are not registering. The number of young people who either are registered to vote and didn't vote in the 2022 local government elections or the 2019 general elections, and those who are eligible to be registered but are not making that choice, those numbers are extremely high. Mangaka Letsobe is a project manager at Youth Lab and joins us now. Mangaka, good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
I am registered to vote. How about you?
I am also registered to vote, thank you.
I don't know how old you are. You don't have to tell me, but when it became possible for you after turning 18 to register to vote, did you do so immediately? Did you have to be persuaded to do so?
I had to be persuaded to do so because it was a thing of I don't know who I'm going to vote for. And I think that's the same mentality of a lot of young people even today, that we don't know who to vote for.
Well, I promise you, I'm an old person and I don't know who to vote for only. So it's not a dilemma only facing the young. So what persuaded you eventually, Mangaka, to go and say, okay, well, maybe there isn't a perfect party for me, but I must vote and I must register and I must vote for the least worst option?
I think the thing that really encouraged me to do it was because, one, it's a civic duty and a responsibility, So voting is a fundamental civic duty for all people who are eligible to vote, because at the end of the day, we need a better future, and voting at least gives us a step forward into also having a voice to question other things that are happening in building that better future.
And the people that you socialize with, the people that you work with, young people your age, or maybe a little older, a little younger, what percentage of them would you say has registered to vote?
I can say not more than 50%. Not more than 50%, because it's still that question of who am I voting for? And also, I think young people they lack representation in political parties. So that's why some are also not interested in voting. Other issues may be limited awareness in education. Some young people may not fully understand the importance of participating in voting. So these are some of the conversations that we at Youth Lab try to have with young people to try and teach them about the importance of voting. Because at the end of the day, we still need young people to vote so that young people's voices can be heard.
Yeah. So it seems as if you believe that if there were more younger candidates in the available political party spectrum, that might make younger people more enthusiastic about registering and about voting, because they would see in the political parties people who looked like them, who are their age, and therefore are likely to understand their issues.
Because at the end of the day, some of the socio-economic issues that young people are facing, we really need people who are in it with us, so that at least they have a better understanding of the issues that we are facing. Because if we take in Parliament, majority are older people. And when we talk about youth unemployment, they cannot really relate to that. So if we had more younger people, it would make sense to us young people, because at least there is that sort of representation, so that when we say these are the issues that affect young people, at least they would understand better.
Do you think a youth party, a party set up by somebody in their mid to late 20s, where just about everybody on their parliamentary list was of that age bracket, do you think people would trust that party?
That's a really good question. And it's a question that we also like asking young people when we host the Youth Manifesto workshops to say, would you vote for a younger person or a party that is run by younger people? And majority say no. Majority say no, and they are saying it's because young people don't have certain experience when it comes to maybe, let's say, addressing issues that affect people in the community. So it's really a tough one. I think we need to see it happen first for us to have some sort of trust. But it's really something that could really be a change maker in South African history if we can have young people leading parties.
Would you like to see, we don't know exactly when the election is going to be, but it must be, according to our electoral law, between mid-May and mid-August next year. So would you like to see parties being more, aggressive's the wrong word, but putting forward their proposals for the issues that affect the youth, which are primarily, I suppose, health, perhaps to a lesser degree health, but education and employment? Those are the two big issues, I would imagine. Is that what your workshops tell you, that those are the two biggest issues for young people?
Yes, they are the big issues. And the thing is that we have been hearing empty promises as young people, of parties saying this is what they would do, this is the things that they will implement, but no action is taken afterwards. It's sort of a strategy to get young people to vote, and then after that, nothing happens. And really, we just need change at the end of the day. What we need is no more policies or no more documents that say this is what's going to be done. We need action. And I think if we can start implementing all the other promises that that young people were given, I think that would be a step forward. Because really, we have been listening to the same song all these years without any implementation. So if implementation can take place, maybe we'll be headed into the right direction, and maybe young people will really be interested to vote.
Thank you very much for sharing the view of a young person and an engaged young person. Mangaka Letsobe is a project manager with Youth Lab.